flying fortresses returned to their base in Britain at the end of the first American air raid on Germany. In daylight, they carried out a heavy attack on the Nazi naval base at Wilhelmshaven. Here are men back from the big attack, recounting their experiences.
Colonel LeMay, how'd the trip go today?
Well, it went pretty well, except that it was rather dull compared to some that we've had. There weren't many fighters up, and the flak was just moderate and very inaccurate. Weather wasn't so good, especially over the target, mostly 10/10 overcast. However, there were a couple holes around. We managed to get our bombs away through one of them, and the bombardier reports some hits on the target and a lot of them around close to it in the town.
The briefing that we prescribed last night, did it conform to the route out and back?
Yes, exactly, except for the target. The weather there was worse than predicted.
This formation that you put out for us last night, did you conform to that on our trip in?
Yes, we flew the same formation that we mentioned last night.
How about your bombardier? Was he operating all right?
He worked 100% as usual.
Major Preston here, did he perform his duties properly?
Yes, he was right on the ball, the same as he always is.
I hear they're going to name their airplane the Gopher.
Why?
Well, it seems like they're both from a certain state, the Gopher State. Is that right, Major Preston?
Yes, it is. Well, that's all right with me. Go right ahead.
Is that all right?
This is the first daylight raid that the Army Air Forces have made on Germany proper. Our target was Wilhelmshaven. While the weather was none too good, we managed to get a large number of bombs on the target and in near vicinity.
General Curtis LeMay, 1906-1990. I don't mind being called tough, because in this racket it's the tough guys who lead the survivors. General Curtis LeMay, U.S. Air Force. Courageous pilot, master tactician, supreme organizer and disciplinarian, the Iron Eagle, General Curtis LeMay, was arguably the greatest 20th century combat leader in the history of the United States Air Force. Commissioned in the Army Air Corps in 1930, LeMay became renowned for his skill as a pilot and navigator. By 1941, LeMay assumed command of the 305th Bomb Group, leading them to England to become part of the United States Army Air Force's 8th Air Force. While there, he earned a reputation for tactical innovation and personal courage by personally leading extremely dangerous daylight precision bombing missions. Unescorted by friendly fighter aircraft, the heavy bombers proved especially vulnerable to attack, leading LeMay, in conjunction with others, to develop the combat box. Dependent on tight formation flying, the tactic created interlocking fields of fire, using every gun of each B-17 or B-24 bomber to protect the entire group by throwing an impenetrable wall of bullets between the bombers and the attacking fighters. After promotion and transfer to the Pacific Theater, General LeMay revamped the air campaign against Japan, quickly concluding the daylight high-altitude precision bombing tactics of the European theater were unsuited to conditions over Japan. He instituted nighttime, low-altitude incendiary raids. In the coming months, the 20th Air Force B-29 fire raids devastated the wood and paper cities of the Japanese home islands, killing an estimated 250,000 to 500,000 Japanese before the end of the hostilities. Following the war, when the Soviets cut off all land transport into the city of Berlin, General LeMay oversaw the Berlin airlift. A crowning achievement in aviation and military history, the airlift brought over 5,000 tons of supplies per day to the beleaguered city until, after an 11-month siege, the Soviets relented. Returning to the United States, General LeMay began what may be his greatest contribution to the security of the free world, the creation of the Strategic Air Command, SAC. Under his personal direction, a disorganized, ineffective group of post-war heavy bomber units became the most powerful military force in the history of humankind. Relentless training, strict discipline, and uncompromising standards became the hallmark of SAC. The old Air Force maxim, SAC is the only organization where you never make the same mistake once, illustrates General LeMay's everyday expectation. Under his leadership, peace is our profession became more than a motto. SAC bomber and ballistic missile alert crews carried the immense responsibility of being America's premier nuclear force, created an organization so intimidating that to an adversary, war against the United States was unthinkable. After serving as the Air Force Chief of Staff, General LeMay retired from active service in 1965, dying on October 1st, 1990, at March Air Force Base, California.
Just a short time ago, on March 21st, we passed the 10th anniversary of the United States Air Force's Strategic Air Command. That date marked a decade of hour-by-hour preparedness. 10 years of exercising a potent stabilizing force that has been a major factor in preventing the outbreak of global war and has given sustenance to hopes of continued world peace.